Okay, so here's part 2, where we're going to be adding and subtracting mixed numbers. The first part says to make the proper fraction parts of each number have the same denominator. Same denominator. Add and subtract the whole number parts to get the whole number part, and add or subtract the proper fraction, or the numerator of the fraction part to get the numerator of the fraction part, and keep the denominator the same. Or you can convert all mixed numbers to improper fractions and then follow the steps for adding and subtracting proper fractions at the top. Then simplify. So let's look at this one. So I've got 2 4/5 plus 3 1/10. So I'm going to make the fraction parts have the same denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 2 over 2, and this one actually has the 10 as the denominator, so that's good. So this would be 2 8/10 plus 3 1/10. Add the whole number parts, I'd get 5. Add the numerator and leave the denominator the same. And so that would be my final answer. It cannot be simplified, so that would be it. For this one, I would look to get that common denominator. So I'd multiply this by 3 over 3, this by 1 over 1. I'll get 12 5/6 minus 7 3/6. Twelve minus 7 is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2 over 6. This can be reduced to 5 1/3 because 2 goes into both of those. So divide by 2 top and bottom. Keeping on. I've got 10 1/4 minus 5, and I'm going to make this also have a fourth, so 5 2/4. Now this one gets a little interesting because I don't need to go into negatives because it's 10 minus 5, so I know that this is actually less than this, but I do need to borrow, and this gets kind of interesting. So I'm going to take the 10 and make it a 9, and I'm going to add to the 1/4 4 over 4 because that's equal to 1 whole. So 9 plus the 1 makes 10. So I'm going to get 9 5/4 minus 5 2/4, and that's going to be 9. Oh, 9 minus 5 is 4. Excuse me, 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. 4 3/4. Excellent. For this one, because we're dealing with a 4 minus 8, it may actually be easier because I know I'm going to go into negative numbers. Sorry, I'm going to let it refocus. It's going to take it a while, it looks like. It may be better for me to change both of these into improper fractions. Remember that we do that, we're going to get mad. So 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 3, minus 8 times 4 is 32, plus 3 is 35 over 4. Wow, it's taking a long time to focus. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I want to get it to have the same denominators. So I'm going to multiply this by 4 over 4 and this one by 3 over 3. I'm going to get 12 as my denominator. And for this one, I'll get 52 as my numerator. And remember, you can use your calculator, so don't get freaked out by this math. Get 12 as the denominator. 35 times 3 would be 105. Now remember, I can use the calculator. I'll even show you that you can do 52 minus, if you can see it, 52 minus 105. And I'll get negative 53 over 12. If I get a negative 53 over 12, if I get that negative 53 divided by 12, I'm going to get some weird number. But I know that 4 is the whole number part, and it's going to be negative 4. So then if I take the 4 times the 12, I'll get 48. If I can take the 53 minus 48, that's going to be my numerator, 5/12. And this, just to check, if I take 5 divided by 12, I'll get that same decimal answer, so I know I'm right. For these, to do that plan B where I use my calculator, I can make 2 4/5 would be 2.8. I just take the 4 and divide it by 5. And then the plus the 3 1/10, that's 3.1. That's going to give me, and I can use my calculator, 5.9, which again, put the decimal, put the 1 underneath the decimal, and do what we've been doing. We'll get 5 9/10. And that would work for any of those.